Hey guys, this is Matt. Thanks for joining me once again today for another episode of Slick, A Better You. We're definitely going to be bettering ourselves today because my guest today was a prime guest of Springfield from 1989 till 95, returned briefly in 97, 2002, and made a final in 2006, and made a final appearance in 2009 when the show was ending. He was a part of the show's history. Mr. Morgan England himself, Dylan Lewis. Before I bring him on, I have some highlights. I hope he's watching too. I have some highlights of Mr. Morgan from over the years. Let's take a look here.
All of them.
Moi? Like, I finally realized that Harley's your wife.
Well, you're just a regular Einstein today, aren't you?
Are you okay?
I tried. I really tried, but I don't know. I just hope he doesn't give her a hard time. Look, this is none of your business, and I don't feel like discussing my private life, all right?
Yeah, then stop acting like all of this is just some excuse for you being such a loser.
I gotta get out of here.
It's okay. It is. It's okay.
I can't stand me pending like this.
But I will get us out.
There's no light. It's so dark, there's no light. Why do you shut the door?
Ready? No, you're not.
But somebody that makes you feel as bad is no good for you.
I feel just fine, thank you.
Bridget, this is your wake-up call. Don't you see what's happening with this guy?
Have you ever wanted to go to a place so bad and you thought that you might not ever get there?
Yeah, I guess.
You're not doing the best in here. Are you crazy? Don't go against me, boy. What are you gonna do? Tie me down, lock me up? I made a mistake. I admit it.
Stop it,
Go
both of
crucify
you.
me. Look, you are gonna ruin everything. You're doing it to yourself, Billy. Don't you see that? Be.
You hide. I'll lose him and come back.
I don't want you guys hurt.
Do what she says. I love you, bud. Hurry.
Oh my God, Josh, look!
The bridge is out. Riva!
So I'm early. What, do you want me to leave? Hey, Roger.
Oh, come on. You don't want me to knock you down again, do you?
No, I just want you to know that even though you ran me out of business, you're not going to get anything but a bunch of paper clips.
That was some clips of Dylan from over the years. Let's get him aboard. Mr. Morgan England himself. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, Matt.
How's it going?
Oh, that was funny. Good. All I could keep thinking was, wow, I really did have a mullet. How did I not know that at the time?
I was just going to ask you that, man. What was it like seeing all those clips again of you over the years, man?
That's crazy. You know, you'd think they'd have better sound with the. I've tried looking up stuff too, but it's so, you know, it's like, I don't know what it is, but the sound and the video is not great on any of this old stuff that I've found, but it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. You know, I so much I forgot. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, really? Oh, when I was watching it, well, I forgot I was watching myself, and I was like, I got all into it for a minute, and then I.
You know, I heard a rumor that you're going to grow that long hair back. Is that true?
Well, I remember when I came back a couple years after I'd been back to LA after the show, and you know, I grew up surfing and I had long blonde hair, and you know, it's thinning up in the top here, as you can see, and so my mom's, I think he was her manager, and we were all friends, you know, and he told me, he goes, you know, you need to cut your hair, and I said, well, why? He goes, you look like an aging surfer, and I went, oof. Okay, I'm cutting my hair, so maybe I can get like one of those Snoop Dogg things going in the very back, you know. And then I'll
Hey, you know, it's never too late.
We'll see, man.
Oh man, well, I'm glad you was able to come aboard today, man. How you been doing? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, it was awesome. Really, it was the first one I've spent completely by myself. And, yeah, I know you might think that's not a good thing, but for me, it's the first first Thanksgiving, first holiday since my mom passed, and I haven't really. There have been moments, but there's just so much happened this whole year and stuff. And my older daughter, was with her fiance, my other, and it was just like, and then my roommate was going, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna just have some time for myself. Hang on, let me plug it. So I got a Cornish game hen, and hang on, sorry guys, and I deep fried it. Mm-hmm. Perfectly, I might add, and because that's something I do on Thanksgiving, I fry the turkey, and I made some mashed potatoes and gravy and some stuffing. Had a great little dinner. I was watching this show, a bunch of these shows, the one where they help the people's house homestead rescue,
Right.
and and it just kind of touched a chord in me, I guess, but it kind of like unleashed just tears, just for. Kind of on and off for several hours. It was just like kind of I don't know, just letting go. And it was just a powerful time, and I'm really thankful for that. So I had a great Thanksgiving, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm so sad. It was just, it was just all the stuff, and just sometimes it comes out as sweat or whatever. This time it came out as tears.
Yeah.
But, it's important to let that stuff out, because if you keep it all in, it just festers, and next thing you know, you got cancer. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, man, I gotta tell you, man, this we got a fan here. He said this man does not age.
Well, if you see it before and after, you'll see the aging process. But thank you. Who was that?
That was a fan. Name is Tim.
Hey, Tim. Thanks, brother.
Oh my gosh. So I got to ask, I know we interviewed each other before. It was over the phone, and this is our first live show. Looking back, though, what was that? Well, first of all, what was it like joining the show? I know before you had said you didn't think of joining the soap opera. Yeah,
soap operas were not what I got into acting for. I really wanted to be a stage actor. I think, I never considered being an actor. It was just never going to happen, because I didn't want to be Cloris Leachman's son, the actor,
Right.
I'd seen some plays in New York, different places that just floored, changed my life, changed things in my life, or changed the way I believe about something or something. And that's what I wanted to do. That live connection there's just nothing like that. Thinking on your feet, because there's no second take.
Yeah.
So, and also creating the role. It takes weeks and months to create a character. From scratch, that's believable, that comes from a past that you're like, you're in their world, and that was really important to me. And I didn't watch soap operas really. And it just wasn't, there are different types of acting. There's TV, there's film, there's theater, there are soap operas, and each one is very different. And what I wanted to do was theater. So getting the show, it was exciting. Well, I'll give you a little back history. So I went out to New York. I got, I couldn't play football anymore because I ruptured my kidney, and my football career was over. I was at University of Colorado at the time. I went there to be able to play in the snow. So that ended just. And really didn't know I didn't have another plan. And a friend of mine said, hey, let's take this acting class. Sure, why not? And I bombed my first monologue. But then this next woman got up in front of the class, and she started putting stuff around a couch and a table, and populating the stage and creating this world, to the point where before she started, when she sat down, all of us were on the edge of our seats, like, what's going to happen next? And she did this scene. I was blown away by it. I was completely in her world, and at that moment I went, oh, she's on the exact same stage that I was on, and the way I bombed and she did this, I'm not going to let that happen again. So my next one was a monologue, and I killed it. And I felt the, I'd put a lot of work into it, and got rid of and just gave it, and what I got back was incredible, and I felt like, and then going from there, I felt like, wow, this is in my blood.
Right.
So then I got into the BFA program there in the school, and then I was like, if I'm going to be an actor, Boulder, Colorado's probably not the place to make a splash. So I went to New York. I got into a school out there, the Circle in the Square Theater, Circle in the Square. And while I was there, I went to the summer program, and then I got accepted into the winter program. And then in February, I got a job here in LA at the Amundsen Theater, which is like our biggest theater here in LA.
Right.
And Dick Van Patten, Michael Learned, Rue McClanahan, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Gregory Harrison, Dana Hill. I mean, it was, Conchata Farrell.
My gosh.
I mean, I remember the first time we took the bow, I looked down to both sides and I went, wow. I'm looking at people up here. I mean, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came back, a couple weeks into rehearsals, my brother had overdosed and died in New York. And so when the play was done, I was pretty messed up for a couple of years, bartending, and I didn't care about anything really. And I kind of came out of that time, and I decided, I want to act, and I want to do this, so I'm going to go back to New York because I didn't want to do it in LA.
Right.
And it's also a very completely different business in LA than it is in New York. I think people come to LA to be rich and famous. People go to New York because they love the art. They're committed to the art for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went back, I thought, well, is there any way that I might be sabotaging myself as an actor? We tend to do that as human beings. And I realized that I didn't audition for soap operas, and that's a huge chunk of possible jobs. So I opened it up to that, and 7 months to the day, actually, I got the guiding light. But then it was a couple months until I actually had my first scene.
Right.
And I had to be in a jail cell. So my jail mate and I were in the dressing room. We were like, we're going to stay in here, like being in jail we're not going to leave, for like method acting,
Right.
So stupid. But then those couple scenes, and then the next thing, I think we went to upstate New York. That's where Reva was having her wedding to Josh, and Josh and Billy, Robert and Jordan took me. They were driving, and I hopped in the back, and so they had a great relationship, and they took me in right away, and they were incredible. Especially Jordan. I mean, he and I became such good friends, and in fact, I got to reach out to him. It was kind of intimidating, because Alan Michael and Harley and all them, they all knew each other. They were all friends, and I was kind of this outsider, and not just as a character, but as an actor. It's like, well, who's this guy? And so I felt pretty uncomfortable for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That doesn't really matter. It just, I guess it does in some degree, because if you're coming into a scene, and Beth Harley, I mean, she's such a strong actress. She had her character down. I mean, she brought it in every scene, and a lot of our scenes were highly confrontational.
Right.
So I love the work that we did together. A lot of it. I think that was some of the best stuff. Really, best time of my time on Guiding Light.
And of course, you got paired with the lovely Susie Corday.
Yeah.
Samantha.
Oh my God. I was going to invite her to come on, because I was going to try to come on last week with you guys. Well, I did for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did briefly. I it's okay. I took a screenshot of the three of us, and I put it on the Guiding Light Facebook page.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I still got it on my phone. But yeah, y'all was something, Dylan and Sam was like one heck of a character. And then, the whole thing when they added her father, Justin, and he didn't like it because Dylan was older, and then y'all had
Justin was her father? The little guy?
Yeah, Justin Marlowe.
He was another great actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blonde, right?
He was Christopher Pinnock, an actor. He passed away not that long ago.
No, I don't think it's the guy I'm thinking of. The guy I'm thinking of he was a really good actor. So many of them were on Guiding Light. Betty Ray hired great people. Justin, I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay, I'll find a clip and send it to you, show you what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
yeah.
But yeah, I actually got a clip here of you too. Let me see. It's with doing the same.
Please let him be all right. Hi.
It's all right if I come in. I saw Ross's car still in here. I just didn't know where else to go, all right? I just couldn't go home by myself.
I know it's all right. You're not alone. You're with me. Let's go to bed.
Gonna get some.
Morgan.
I'm sorry. Well, I was all like, "What's gonna happen next?"
Oh,
I'm watching.
that was that aired September 25th, 1989.
89, yeah.
That was the last clip of the episode. So what happened next? Y'all woke up the next day.
Oh yeah, no, she was great. It was great working with Susie. There was something that came up with that I was gonna mention, but I made it look younger on the outside, but forget things a lot.
Well, do you remember y'all scenes when y'all went to Florida and y'all had the romance scenes together? Yeah. I aired that when me and her did our show. That was one of the favorite scenes I loved with you guys together.
Yeah, those were cool. I mean, I remember on the beach. Yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was so cool to be down there. I got to go on both of the whatever you call it, excursions when you go out of the studio. What do you call it? Location. Yeah, right when I started, which New York, upstate New York, was just beautiful at that time of year.
Right.
And then got to go down to Florida and hang out in that water. It was beautiful.
Now, unfortunately, that was when y'all did that. That was when Kim left the show and Reba went off the bridge.
Yeah. Then what happened? Yeah, and then
Sam was paralyzed.
Right, that was a weird time after that. I think there was a long weird time, and then what happened? Julie?
That came.
For my character.
Yeah, that came a little later because you and Sam had broken up.
Right.
After
there was a real dip in my character, so
yeah.
That's where as a soap actor, you really can tell who's got it, because what you get is expository dialogue. Like you'd be sitting in the diner talking about what's happening to somebody else. Did you hear that so-and-so went to thing and that happened? Oh, yes. And then did you also hear that you know what I mean? You're just it's not like people talk at all.
Right.
And so that was really the toughest part for me to take those words and go, okay, well, we're going to change the words a little bit just to make them sound like humans are speaking. And then, try to make it interesting, make it about what's happening here, and that kind of offhand maybe, or because there's no way that your character would talk like that or say those things. So, but you have to keep the story going for the people that don't know. And so there's a real trick. I think that was probably the most difficult for me, because again, what I wanted to bring was reality, and I want people not to go, oh, I didn't believe him there, or step out of character. Same thing with music. You want to keep them in the world you're creating, and I don't know, maybe I'm babbling, but that was the hardest stuff. The stuff that's well written and that you can sink your teeth into. That was great stuff that I had with so many characters. Right. But the real test, I think, came when you didn't have anything. You're just exposing other people's story. So
Yeah.
just a little tidbit from an actor's point of
They
view.
they had that a few times with you around 91, 92, where you would be Dylan was working at company and you would just be supporting Mindy or like you said, whatever was going on at the time, they would just come to you and say, "Hey, did you hear about that? And this is going on." And it wasn't until they really paired you with Julie when it was like, "Okay, we got him back on screen now. We're gonna do something with him."
Yeah, and it happens to all the characters. I mean, I was lucky. I made it through at least three different producers. And every time a new producer comes in, they clean house and they put their own people in, and so the writing was. I mean, people think their job's secure, but it's a false sense of security. So I never really bought into that. I felt like I'm going to leave on my terms rather than, so. I'm not just wondering what's going to happen. Is the show going to end? Are we going to get canceled? Are the whatever,
Right.
I wanted to be in control of my own. And also, I'd done it for 5 years. That's a long time, So you got to make a choice. Is that going to be your life until it ends or whatever? So it's like with the fire department, I've reached the end of that and I walked. So
Yeah.
I'm done here. It's time to do the next thing. So.
What was that like being a firefighter? I mean, what was that journey like for you when you did that?
Well, there's two jobs. There's paramedic and there's firefighter.
Right.
All firefighters are EMTs. They have basic first aid knowledge, So I came in as a paramedic. I'd been a paramedic for 4 or 5 years prior to that. In the field, first in 911, blah, blah, blah. Historically, especially here in LA, when they got paramedics in the late 70s or 80s, in the 80s, they put them in the firehouses, and the firemen hated them. They were like, we don't want, they called them pukes. We don't want the pukes here. So there was a real rift between the two. And that tradition kind of carries on. So you have your single function firefighters, and then you have dual function, or you call them dual function, firefighter paramedics. So when we go on a medical call, as a paramedic, I'm going to be running the call and doing the life-saving type, putting a tube down the throat, IV drugs, that kind of thing.
Right.
And the firefighters would assist me, with getting that job. A lot of the things that, kind of just my helping whoever the paramedic is. Paramedic's going to lead the call. If it's an advanced life support call, like a chest pain or shortness of breath or something, a seizure. And so I did that because I didn't think there was any higher calling, really. And I got to do it. I never really thought much about being a firefighter, but once you become a paramedic, it's like, well, that's where the money is, and that's where also you can access people as a firefighter that you wouldn't be able to as just a paramedic, a private paramedic.
Right.
So I really had to wrestle with it. I mean, there's long hours. I had to really see, and I was, there's friction like in any business with the people you work with. So I didn't know if this is what I wanted to do, but anyway, I did. I go, okay, I'm going to do this, and I went for it, and I got hired by the LAFD as a fireman. And then they train you for 17 weeks as a firefighter. But for me, a lot of firefighters, they go to fire academies, they know all about fighting fire and all those things. I didn't know any of that, nor did I really care too much about it. I knew about fixing people, and that's what I cared about. God, I think I got off course here anyway. You asked me about it's two jobs. It depends what call you're going on. If it's a fire call or something like that, you're a fireman. If it's a medical call or trauma call, depending where you're sitting on what apparatus, you've got a certain job to do. Even if I'm the paramedic, somebody's stuck in a car, but I'm the tillerman, I'm driving the back of the truck. My job is to chalk the car, make sure it doesn't move, and then go help the driver to pop the door or whatever you got to do like that. But a lot of paramedics get sucked in and they start treating the patient right then. But that's not your job, So every where you're sitting, what apparatus you're riding, and how you enter the call, like what, if you're first in, second in, you know, that kind of dictates what you end up doing on the call.
Right.
But, I mean, I loved it. I love being a paramedic. I love being a fireman. I had unfinished business with the music. And so sorry, I'm jumping around here, but when I left the show, came out to LA, the kids were young, I had written a couple songs, did a demo, this guy heard it, he wanted me to come out, so he flew me out to Nashville, and we had several meetings, we ended up doing a whole album, and my kids were young, and my marriage was not good at all, and I realized that I needed to be there for them.
Right.
So I said, you know, I'm going to do that. And that's why I got into the whole paramedic thing and then the firefighting thing. But then they're out of the house and I'm doing this and I'm kind of, you know, I'm spinning my wheels. I could promote, you know, to engineer, you know, promote up the ranks, but my heart just wasn't in it really. And it's like, you know, I always said I would get back to the music and I never gave that a full shot. And one big thing for me is that I don't want to be taking my last breath, regretting what I might have done if I'd only had the courage or, you know, whatever. And so I just felt, and also, you know, I was also a USAR technician, so we had specialized in confined space, swift water, high angle rescue, low angle, all these other things too, and trench rescue. And I remember being in this trench way down, and you know, we got the things holding it and everything, and I'm thinking about this song I'm writing, and it was training, I think, so we were getting the dummy out, and it just really occurred to me, you know, my head's just not in this. It's not fair to them, it's not fair to me, and if I'm going to do something, if I'm going to be a firefighter, then I need to be doing this 100%. If I'm going to be a songwriter or a singer or something, or whatever else I'm going to be, whatever I'm going to be, whether it's a waiter or a server, I guess they call them now, or whatever, it's other people are doing that 100%. They're giving 100% to that. So if you're not, then you're probably not going to get to where you want to be. And so for many reasons, I was recuperating from a double hernia operation. I already had a knee and a full shoulder reconstruction, and I just thought, man, you know, how much, and also the hours just being exhausted all the time, getting a sign hired on your way back from work, and they call you up, say, hey, come on back, you know, we need you, you know, you're assigned hired.
Right.
And I've got my kids home, so I'm trying to raise them by myself and do all that. So that was it. You know, I think I wanted to give it 100% and succeed or fail, you know. I'll be taking that last breath going, at least I gave it my best shot.
Yeah. I got to tell you, man, hearing your story just now, you could be a motivational speaker or book author. It's like you got a whole...
That's what I want to do. There's this thing called, so this guy, I took his, whatever you call it, weekend seminar. It's all about keynote concerts. So as a musician, you get paid $200 to do a show, you know, hour, 2 hours, whatever, right?
Right.
You're a keynote speaker, you're getting like $10,000, or you know, like a lot of money, because these huge companies put on, you know, they have a retreat, a weekend thing for training or whatever. After lunch, they have Tony Robbins or, you know, whatever, one of those kind of guys, a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Or if they have that budgeted in. So I'm just saying 10,000, that might be for a huge thing. I don't know.
Right.
But, it's vastly different than a musician, just by saying I'm a keynote speaker. So it'd be like I would do, say, 4 stories. Each story would be 12 to 15 minutes long, and after each story, I'd sing a song that had to do kind of cut to that story. So, but it is, I feel like I've overcome many obstacles in physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and you know, my thing is I wanna help people. That's just in me. You know, I want to make people's lives better, add value.
Absolutely.
And that's important to me. And what I'm finding now is in my music, in this group that I'm building, of just people that have heard the music, really like it, and want to be part of it and invested in some way. So I'm getting close to 2,000 people now, and it's really. Oh, I know what I wanted to say before. It was. It just ties in with this.
Right.
It's that these people that were my fans or whatever you want to call it, back in the day, you know, I never really took that in. I never took it seriously. I was like, you know, it's a soap opera, and how much could you really? But what I realized later is that we're on every day. We're like part of the family, you know, for people.
Right.
And now, you know, to have people 25 years later support me the way that they do, it's mind-blowing. And it's, you know, to know that, and that they like the music or whatever, and that I can still add value to their lives. And now with the internet and everything, you have much more personal relationships. The whole way I'm going about it, there's no agent, there's no manager, there's no publicist. It's all personal connections. And sometimes it gets lines get crossed, but, you know, it's, you know, learn as you go. And so to like Angela and Eileen, just old fans, you know, that I took a picture with them back in 1989, you know, and they're still like supporting me, and really it's a very warming feeling, and it makes me feel, it just makes me want to do more, you know.
Yeah.
And so a lot of those people are still are in my group, and just amazingly supportive, and I feel so grateful for all of them. And because I'm not letting people in that just, you know, press like or something like that. This is about people that, and to be building it this much through my music alone, really, it makes me feel good, because I feel like I'm providing something for them, and I know I am, because of the comments that I get, you know, certain songs that I wrote. And I'm not trying to find people like have everyone like me. I'm trying to find people who get me, who get what I'm saying in my song, because and building it that way, and it's a powerful thing. As a matter of fact, I wanted to kind of up my game a little bit, and like high ticket offers, you know, like things like writing a song for somebody or doing it together. And one thing I thought was, I have this inner circle, and I had gotten, so one thing we do is like a virtual backstage after the concert for the people that are in the inner circle.
Right.
And so I got cut off halfway through. The electricity went off in the neighborhood, and the next week when it came back on, they said, "Oh, well, after you left, we were talking for like 2 hours, you know, and then just amongst themselves." And so they've become friends. And I said, "Well, wouldn't that be great to do in person?" They said, "Yeah." So we set up a weekend. We all met in Scottsdale.
Right.
And we had this weekend retreat, and it was a blast, man. We had so much fun, you know. So that was 5 people. I'm hoping to do one in spring with more people, but I mean, just the fact that they'd be that interested to come and hang out together, and you know, and I mean, it wasn't cheap.
Right.
So yeah, that was wow. Blew my mind. There's a word for all that, but I can't seem to think of it right now.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. No, but it's just, you know, it's deeply impactful for me.
Yeah.
And I think for them too. You know, it was just a strong thing. So that's the kind of stuff I want to do. And this, whether it's, I don't know about motivational speaking, but in some way, I feel like I have a lot to give. But at the same time, it's like, well, what do I have to prove that? Or what do I have to, you know, you say a motivational speaker, well, who am I to talk, you know? But then again, who's anybody? It's just my opinion. And I do think that I do want to help people, and I feel like I am in my music, and I want to expand that to if you call it motivational speaking, or in some way find my niche that it can relate to people and can again add some value to their lives. So.
You got one fan here named Amanda. She said hi to you and says she loves your song "Crazy," but I miss you.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that's a song that. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you very much. That was a song that I'd just kissed it goodbye. I didn't, because I don't know, maybe my father said something about her, so I don't know what it was, but and that song seems to be one of the most impactful songs for people.
Yeah.
You know, like my Morgan Englund hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was so cool.
You got fans kicking here. One woman named Janet. She said, "Hey Morgan, it's great to see you." There's a Miss Jackson said hey to you. Another one who said
Trinetta?
Yeah. Trinetta.
Your flute's coming, girl. Don't worry. Hey, Trinetta.
And you got another one named Miss Baker. She says, We're loving that you're chasing your dream, Morgan. Be true to you."
She's awesome. I just got off the phone with her a minute before I clicked on to here.
Wow.
She came to my my Bohemian Warriors weekend retreat, because that's the name of my group, Bohemian Warriors.
Right.
So yeah, these people are amazing people, and it's really cool because, like I said, it's a different thing now. It's a much more personal relationship with people.
She just said Scottsdale was great fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Tequila sunrises and live music. Yeah.
Yeah.
All good.
I got another clip to show you. It's one with you and Jocelyn. You ready to see that?
Wait, I have to tell you one other thing.
Okay.
Miss Baker named her son Dylan.
You're kidding.
I don't know if it had to do with me, but
oh my
did it,
gosh.
Jimmy?
Oh
yes
my gosh.
So, okay, go ahead.
See, you're so popular, man. See, I want to be.
Well, I told my people to come, so they're
coming. Wow, I had no idea that. So here's the first one.
Okay. Once again, I was wrapped.
Yeah, that was when they first paired y'all, and then later on in that episode, she was like, "I think you like me."
What were we? Were we in different places in that scene? Or
I think y'all had that was. I think y'all filmed that at Cross Creek, and I don't know where y'all filmed Cross Creek at, but that episode was at Cross Creek in '92. That's when y'all really had your first kiss in that episode.
Oh wow! I mean, Cross Creek was the studio.
Yeah,
it's all studio. Wow.
Yeah, gosh. I got one last clip of you two together. This was the non-wedding episode.
You are, Julie.
Dylan, what are you talking about? I am telling the truth. Bridget used that old letter to stir up trouble.
You're a good liar. But you're not very careful. You put today's date on your love note.
No, Dylan.
Just get out of my way. No. Julie, I don't want to hurt you.
Go ahead, it will make you feel better. I deserve it. Yes, I lied to you. I lied to you because what happened last night with Hart was a mistake. I never meant for it to happen. It just did. Are you really so shocked? Are you really so amazed? You're the one who hired Hart. You're the one who was so hell-bent on getting over this jealousy thing that you put me around him all the time. And for a while there, I was sick with it. I was sick with confusion. I was sick with loving you and feeling the way I did for him.
And what was that?
You're the one who explained it to me. How hard it is to get over the first person you ever loved. I felt like you were giving me permission.
Wow.
Yeah.
I watch some of these shows, man. This is intense.
Hey man, YouTube is flooded. I got a YouTube channel called So It's Past, and I uploaded a lot of gotten like clips and episodes over the years. And I got a lot of my boxes down there with 92, 93, 91, 90, 80 episodes. Like, yeah, it's some website. It's called Soap Trading where they have DVDs, and I've been collecting a lot since the show ended. But I do have a few on tape that a friend of mine's grandmother has still that still works, ironically.
So is Guiding Light the main show that you focus on in your thing here?
Well, pretty much. I mean, when I first did it 2 years ago, Tina Sloan was my first guest, of course, and a few others. I've had some from other shows. I don't know if you know One Life to Live or As the World Turns, but I've had some guests from them come aboard here. But pretty much GL was...
That's like the B team, right?
See? But GL was my favorite show. So it's like when it came to getting the people, it was like, well, let me see if I can get some folks from here and you know, bring on. I mean, you know.
So what got you into it? Your grandma?
Well, I've been a fan of the show since, and wait for it, since I was in 3rd grade back in 2000.
Wow.
Because I was born in 91.
Well, you weren't even alive when I was acting. What
I was born 2 years later in 91.
Wow. That's incredible, man. That is incredible. So how did you ever see me then? Or you just thought, oh, this guy, I'd probably get him. He's not.
Oh my gosh. So at the time, well, you noticed at the time, cable wasn't like how it is today. It was very few channels, and I just somehow got hooked because we didn't have cable a lot back then. And I watched it when I was in school. Then I taped the show when we had cable, and I watched the other shows, and that's pretty much it. My mother watched it. I think my grandmother did watch it, but she wasn't into soaps a lot like my mother was. And then I just got hooked myself. And then a friend of mine named Darrell that I've known since middle school, his grandmother, like I said, she had some of the tapes. And I actually begged her, like, can I have some of them? Because he's not interested like I am. And I was like, that's how hooked I was. And the first episode I saw with you was you came back in 2002 for Reva and Josh's wedding. The second at the time, because the first time you came back, Brittany Snow was Susan at the time. And you came back in 2002, and the first episode I saw with you in it was Sam's 18th birthday party when he proposed to her, and she said no.
Who, I proposed to her?
Yeah, he proposed to Sam, and she said no. So that was the first time I seen you.
Little hussy.
Oh my!
What's she thinking?
Oh my gosh! I know.
Dang.
But yeah,
wow.
I can't explain like why I got hooked to the show. I just did.
So you kind of went back. You backtracked quite a bit to find me and Sam and other people.
Yeah. When I first did this, my goal was to just have book authors and pastors, motivational speakers, and I found Tina's website, so I slowly but surely asked her and Grant Alexander and some others, and then that's when I found you. I mean, you know, I know you guys don't. Well, we know each other, but as far as when I first was doing this, I was like, well, you know, I know you guys don't really know me. We didn't work together enough. I'm just a fan, but it was just my way of saying I wanted to reach out, express my gratitude, how much I love the show, how much you guys moved me. We didn't talk about this before, but, you know, growing up, for me, it was kind of hard. I was bullied a lot because I was a bigger guy and I was harassed a lot. So coming home, watching the show was like an escape for me. And that led to me writing, and I can make up my own stories. And I've done short films since then. I put my mother in my third one when I was in school, and that was at the film festival at the school. So you guys helped a lot. I have no idea.
Wow, man. I mean, you know, my sister and I were talking about her daughter actually, and you know, we're the subject of success.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, what does that mean? What is success to her? Because if you don't define success, then how do you ever reach it?
Right.
So, and once you do reach it, you've been successful, but then life still goes on. So is that you just stop then? No, you keep going. So the whole point of this is to say that, you know, just what you just said right now, man, that it had that kind of value for your life, you know, and now you're taking that and you're spreading it back out, you know, paying it forward in your way. It's I mean, if one person can say that about something that I've done, then that's success, you know. So everything else is gravy. And
Right.
I feel like for me already in this music, if I died tomorrow, I know I'd die successful because I know I've moved people in a certain way or added something to their life, either through my music or through my acting or whatever it is. But you know, and to have even more than one person giving that back to me, it's that word that I can't come up with still. It's you know, it's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, you know. And that's, you know, when people get caught up in their own issues and stuff like that, I'm like, well, go. With my sister, she was all bent out of shape about something. I said, well, you know, being of service, it really changes you, and it you know, you can't think in the way you're thinking now because you're putting it out with other people. You know, you're not just in your own mind and your own world. And it wasn't until I said, well, let's say it differently. And like I said, with you adding value to people's lives, she's like, oh, all of a sudden her, you know, the light bulb popped off. She's like, yeah, I could do that. I go, yeah, you do it all the time. You know, we all do it for each other as human beings. So this is a great thing, you know. It's just an honor to be able to do that for other people.
Right.
And it'll only lift you up. So by you lifting other people up, it lifts you up. So
Absolutely.
you know, I feel successful, and I feel grateful to be successful. So
Yeah.
and that's success for me, you know.
Mm-hmm. I got a fan here who said her name is Pamela. She said, "Do you still keep in touch with Jordan Clark? She loved y'all scenes together."
You know, I had to break up with him a long time. No, I'm kidding. I
I'm about to
haven't.
say,
but
oh
I
my
need
gosh.
No, I love Jordan, and I have not talked to him in years, but I need to for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking a lot about lately. Vince Williams. You know who he was? He played Ham.
The saxophone man, as I call him, you know.
Yeah. He was my roommate for 5.5 years, and he had a big impact on my life with the marriage that I was going through, with everything, you know, acting. He was a couple years older, and we were both musicians, and we spent hours together, long hours, and I don't know. I've been thinking about him so much lately. He's just been popping in my head, and what an influence he was to me, and what a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, he that's actually what I called him in the documentary I did the show. I called him in the tribute, the saxophone man, because nobody else could play that saxophone like what he did, you know, and his approach in the scenes, and you know, I had a clip of you with Nia Long, who played his daughter on the show, Kat.
Yeah, I saw it. I ran into her. I was working as a set medic, and then you know, the stars come in, and I'm like, Nia? And her and what's the other cat's name? He's a big famous guy. I don't know. I forgot his name. But yeah, it was neat to see her, and she's done so well.
Yeah,
incredible. That was really cool. I'm glad to see that we had that scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one with Monty, you know, that that hug, that was real.
That was your last episode. That
Was
hug.
it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I was leaving then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. We were good friends. In fact, I got him an apartment in my building, so we were going back and forth all the time, and we had a lot of fun. He's a good man. But Vince was he was a special dude, man, and he had a big impact on my life, for sure.
Yeah. I gotta say, I don't know if the fans, nobody's really asked this question, but I loved all the scenes with everybody you did, but I also love the scenes you had with Kim Zimmer, who played your mother, Reva. She, classic lady who played that character on and off until the end, and the scenes y'all had, like in the clips when you was claustrophobic in that episode, like that, y'all had a lot of great material together when you first came on.
Yeah, that was, I remember that. There's something specific I remember about that. I loved working with Kim. She's awesome, and what she brought to it, just every time, you better be on your toes, you better be ready to go.
Yeah.
So funny thing, so we do that scene, and then we finally get let out, and I come out, and, if you come out from the dark into the light, your eyes takes a minute to adjust,
Mm-hmm.
And so it came out, and I was subtle with it because but I was conscious that I'm coming out from the dark into the light.
Right.
And as an actor, you didn't see the difference, so you would have had to think about it to do that. And
right.
And so we came out, and then after the scene, she's like, "Oh my God, you reacted. That's great. I was great. I'm gonna use that." I was like, "Okay."
Wow.
So good about it, but
yeah.
she was so fun to work with, and just you just kind of half got a crush on her, but she's kind of half your mom,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you're actors, you're all in the studio, No, I mean, it's all in fun, but you know what I mean? It's like you just she's a very passionate person. She's just it's hard not to love her, and she's just a great lady.
Hey, listen, I understand, the show has a lot of pretty ladies on. I remember telling Susie over the phone, we talked, like, I love Samantha. Like, I was awesome. Like, man, this is a gorgeous, her and Jocelyn, both just two gorgeous ladies. It's like, I'm like, Morgan's lucky. He got to work with these two pretty ladies.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I was also married or about to get married or something like that. So,
yeah,
it was, trying to keep straight on that, and not trying to keep straight, but keeping straight on that. And, it's a tough position. I'm sure it's very tough for, the counterpart of whoever's the actor, doing love scenes and stuff like that. It's got to be hard. Honey, didn't mean a thing, really. No, I know my tongue was down her throat, but felt nothing.
Oh, man.
Beth and I mean, we'd have the scene in bed, we'd be naked. Not like doing anything, but
yeah.
Nobody cared, the 80s, man.
Oh, man.
It's not like today where you go to jail if you look at somebody cross-eyed, but
yeah.
Funny.
I'm actually doing a documentary film about the 80s, a short films about what went on at that time. Yeah, I'm gonna have it out soon.
You definitely know. It's done. You finished.
Well, I got a long version that's long, and then there's a short version I made for the Maryland Film Festival. I'm going to submit to this sometime this week, and yeah, it's going to be out.
Awesome. I was going to say, had you told me earlier, I could have given you plenty of stories about the 80s.
Oh, man. I didn't think about that.
Not only that, but I mean, Hollywood. And after I told you when I was here for that 2 years after my brother died, I was bartending in this place in Venice called Rebecca's. Oh, my God. We had these margaritas. It was just tequila, Cointreau, and lime juice. That's it. We call them liquid Quaaludes, which is another like 70s, 80s thing. But it just, people got really messed up. But anyway, all these famous, that was when Sean Penn and Madonna were either dating or married. They used to come in all the time. Like all these, heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And I'm behind the bars. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
We were crazy, man. And it's just packed every night. So, and we were the party, we were serving the drinks. So
Right.
it's just like going to a party every night.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I got 2 more clips to show you. Now, this one, I don't know when the last time you've seen this one, but this one was a Rocket Fire episode. Let me see. I'm going to play this here.
Go to hell tomorrow, Roger.
I'll take hell any day. It's got to beat marriage to you. That's what this is all about. Come on, why don't you tell the good people why you hate me so much? Why you're so happy with your son's choice of a wife? Tell them, come on. You just can't stand losing yet another man to Mindy Lewis's bed. Let's talk about this subpoena I just been had. Did you know this hearing tomorrow's big battle for Spaulding? Nothing more than the raging sexual jealousy of a woman scorned.
I loved him, Michael.
Yeah.
He was, what an actor. So many of these people are stage actors. They're New York theater actors, and he was one of them. I got to do that with him. I got to play with him, or at least part of it.
Yeah.
He was, he wasn't in my storyline, so but when I got to know him later, we became really good friends, and we did that play together, and I felt so honored that he respected my acting enough to want to do Cyrano together, and he played Cyrano, I played Christian.
Right.
But that scene, okay, so I was so pissed after he punches me and I go over the railing, because once he did the fake punch, I just let go. I went, because I knew that Frank, they were going to catch me. Frank played Frank, right?
Yeah, Frank the Coppolis.
Yeah. So, I was like, well, this is going to look great on camera. And they cut now to me going over, so it looks like a stuntman did it, and you didn't see. She could have stayed on that one shot, the master, and seen the whole thing, and then cut a little later. But anyway, that was my own personal ego.
I understand.
There, but it's like, man, I just did that. And another thing, when I first, Mara, I think her name is, the little girl, when I first came on the show, I climbed up in a tree riddled with worms. It was just a dead tree, to get her kite. And I get the kite, I just grab it, and the branch breaks. And I was about 10 feet up, and I landed right in front of her. And luckily, she didn't get killed by it. And I go, here you go. I just kept going with the scene. I was like, whoa. But then, and kept going with the scene, and they cut it. I'm like, well, why would you cut that? It's one thing that's real. You want to catch it and adapt to it, and
yeah.
That was frustrating.
I remember we talked about that the first time when you mentioned the fight you and Roger had, where they cut that, because I remember telling you
that was it. That was the scene.
They shown when you fell off the banister after he hit you, but they didn't show when you got up or nothing. It was like they kept going with the others, and they later showed you when you got in his face again, but it didn't show like, well, what happened when you went down? Did you get back up? I mean,
See, I didn't even think about that. I didn't care about that. I was just like, wait, you missed my. That was me doing that. It wasn't a stunt, man. So
right.
Darn it.
Yeah. But Michael was a powerhouse as Roger, as a villain. And I don't know if you had any scenes with or knew Beverly McKenzie as Alex or Marge Doucet, but those three together was something.
Yeah, those are some powerful women. It wasn't my storyline, and they were.
Yeah.
Even the lady that played my grandmother,
Sarah Shane on the show. I've heard name, real life name. I got to look that up.
Boy. She was I don't know what the way to. She was like, we're all screwing around, and she's taking this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I took acting seriously, but I didn't. But we had a lot of fun there. We're in our 20s, and so she's, so she bit me a few times, which I probably deserved. But, we didn't, we didn't have a lot together. And I think with the, it's funny because if you don't work with somebody in a storyline, you don't really know them, and you kind of only know them by their character.
Right.
If you don't have a lot of interaction with them. So, I loved
Oh.
Maureen Garrett. She was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah.
She'd be a great interview.
Holly Lindsay.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get a hold of her for like a year now.
Really? I'll try to get a hold of her for you because she deserves to be on here.
Yeah.
I can do.
I would love to. I literally, I just did a Roger and Holly tribute with videos of them. And fans love it. I would love for her to see it,
Oh, great. Okay, I'll try to contact her. And I'd love to talk to her too, just to say hello, because she's such a great lady.
And somebody said her name was Audrey Peters, who plays Sarah. That was her name.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And also someone said, "Hey, Morgan, have you stayed in contact with any regular person from the show?" I know Susie and Jocelyn and Melissa Hayden was probably some of the few that you've been in touch with, right? From GF.
Yeah, Susie, Melissa. I had a brief stint of doing a few auditions last few months ago, and so Melissa teaches out or coaches or whatever. She had it all dialed in. I went to her house and we knocked out a couple scenes, and she was great. She was awesome.
Yeah.
So let's see, anybody else? Monty and I kind of buffeted each other at one time, like kind of right before I left the fire department. I don't know, we just lost touch. Who else is on the show? I just talked to Mallet. What was his name?
Mark Derwin.
Mark Derwin.
That's my boy.
Fun together. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's a great guy, and he's had a great career too. I've seen him on TV. I'm like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I talked to Kimberly Sims a couple weeks ago too. So.
I love Kimberly. I love the scenes her and Vincent Arizori had when they was Mindy and Nick. Those two were something else. Yeah. I remember
Vince Arizori.
Yeah. He was on when I did the big show when I had all of them on there. Mark and he was there that day, Vincent. And Mark, I told everybody, my mother had a huge crush on Mark when he was on Guiding Light. And he called her on her birthday back in March.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It took a while for her to comprehend. I mean, she knew who it was. When she got out the phone, she was like, was that him? I was like, yeah, that was Mark.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad.
Yeah.
That she did that. Yeah, he's a great guy. Big heart.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't think you knew Lisa Brown, who just passed, did you? She was Nola on the show.
She did?
Yeah.
What happened? Well, she died, but how?
She had some kind of brief illness. She just passed away this recent week that went by. She just
I've heard
passed.
there's something going around. So it starts as cavid or something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of this disease that some people are worried about.
Yeah.
What's it called? It's not cavid. Oh, COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
That's what it is. Have you heard about that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
COVID, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, that didn't happen to her, but yeah, heard some people are having a hard time with that. Anyway, wow, I did on and off. She also, well, I'm sorry to hear about that. She also, what was it? We did have some like other encounters, but she was also like an acting teacher or coach or something.
Yeah.
In some capacity. And I don't know, I think we did something together. I can't remember what it is right now, but yeah, she was cool. She was great. And I did have some, it's probably later, or I don't know when she came back on, because it would have been then, or if it was one of the times when I came just on for a couple shows.
Yeah, she came back the year you left. Actually, she came on like a few months after you had just left the show when she came back. She came on very, very briefly.
Okay.
Yeah. And did you work with Gil Rogers, Hawk Shane? Y'all had a couple of scenes.
Yeah, wasn't he my grandfather?
He was your grandfather. Yeah. Him.
Yeah, he was great. I loved him. He was such a good guy. The heart on that guy was just gigantic. Just all heart. Such a sweet guy. Great family.
Yeah.
Terrible actor, but no, I'm kidding. No, he was outstanding. No, he was great, man, and yeah, I did get to work with him. Quite a bit.
Yeah. And of course, I love the brotherliness you had with Brian Buffington, Little Bill. Y'all two dynamic.
We had a lot of fun together. He was like my little brother. So
Yeah.
he's a great little kid. I just remember him. I remember me doing stuff and him just laughing at me all the time.
Oh my
But
gosh.
he's like married now. I mean, last time I saw him, he was 8 or something, and crazy.
What? When was it? I got this one last clip of you as you and Melissa. It was right when the show was ending. I don't know when the last time you seen this clip. It's a clip of you two together. I got it right here.
China somewhere.
Thank you. It's very beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So good to see you.
It's so good to be here, and seeing you is just a bonus.
That was in 2009. It was right when the show was ending. And y'all both came back for that last time.
Yeah, it was a rough time in my life. Also, I'd thrown my back out, and I was just in so much pain. Yeah, I wasn't at my best at that time. In fact, I think I bailed early. They wanted me to do this last thing. I was like, I gotta go.
Well, I mean, at least it was great, seeing you back for that last time. I mean, this was a show that been on for years, and it was getting canceled, and it was great seeing you again.
That's cool, man. I appreciate that. I don't think I realized at the time that it really had any impact, or I had any impact, or on anybody really. So it's that's why it's so cool now in life, all these years later, to see, these people are still here, and they're still, I don't know. It's just, it means a lot. And where in the past, it didn't mean anything to me. You say, oh, I love your show, or work, whatever people might say. And I was like, yeah, thanks, I watch you every day. Well, maybe you should get a job. That was what I was thinking, instead of sitting here watching me on a soap opera, it's like, well, I mean, how is this adding anything to your life? But I didn't see it then, and I do now. And I'm so grateful for that. And to be able to even say that now and to connect with people from then. So I think that was a lot of personal stuff I had. I grew up with a famous mother, and, it's hard to trust what people say. People, if they knew who my mother was, their relationship with me, it changed, and I realized it wasn't about me at all, or our friendship. It was about them wanting to be close to her, something I had no clue of, and so, I don't know, I shouldn't believe it.
Yeah. I'm saying my mother and me were sorry to hear about that. My mother was a huge fan of your mom's, and I actually saw a bio on YouTube about her, and I saw a young clip of you when you had your mullet hairstyle, and it was you with your family together. And I was like, oh yeah, that's Dylan.
Guess where our hairdresser was from? New Jersey, Joyzy.
Wow.
So the mullet, the whole poofy hair. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So funny. Sue. She was awesome.
You got a fan.
Oh wait, no, she was the makeup person. Okay, go. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a fan named Leanne, the artist, who said, "Oh, okay." She said, "You made a difference in all our lives. Thanks for being so genuine." And said, "Can you?" I think she wants you to sing her song. Where did it go?
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, you. It's just something, you, like I said, like even with me, it's like you guys, including you, you guys touched so many people. You touched a lot of people. And like I said, I was a fan of, I know it wasn't there at the time, but rewatching the episodes, even today, it's like, I just get kicked out of it. I love
what
watching.
Blows me away is that, when I left the show, when were you born? 92?
1975.
90? No, you said 90.
I'm kidding. No, it was 91.
91. So you were 4 when I left the show, and you go back and you look at this, and it's makes a difference in your life to some degree. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Leanne, hey, love you, girl. My mom, well, I'll tell you, I never knew. I mean, I knew she was famous and all that stuff, but I didn't really. She was always working. You know, I was at home. She was working.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really know much about it. But when I was about a teenager, either 13, 16, something like that, I was flying with my brother to go see her somewhere. No, we came. I was with her, and we, like Iowa, which is where she's from, and we get off the plane and we go down the stairs because it's on the tarmac, and there's like 300 people, women, waiting for her with signs and everything. And she gets off the plane, and we come, and they surround her, and they've got tears in their eyes saying, "Oh, my God, you've saved my life," or you know, da-da-da-da, what you done to me. And I was looking at my mom going, "Really? You know, wow, I didn't, huh." And so it was really the first time I saw, you know, what she brought to this world, to people. And it was an awesome moment.
Yeah.
To see that of your mother. So, and when she died, I got TMZ. I mean, within an hour, was calling my phone. TMZ, that's right, so something like that.
Yeah, TMZ.
And they, and I thought, really, you know, I mean, this is a private thing. And I thought, no, it isn't. She was she wasn't mine. She was the world's, you know. And they deserve, the people that loved her, they deserve to know and deserve that. So I took the call, and I gave her the interview, or told her what I knew about it and stuff. She kept hammering me, was it COVID? Was it COVID? Was it COVID? And I kept saying no, but she wouldn't believe me. And then, of course, I found that on the death certificate, the whatever contributing factor was COVID, which, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, she did, you know, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
But I just felt very grateful, and I did feel like, I think that if it happened another time when I got that call, it's like, you know, just what are you doing? You leave us alone. You know, this is a moment. Let me just deal with my mom being dead for at least an hour or two, you know, before you start calling me for interviews.
Right.
And I thought, well, they're going to be coming either way, so, and she deserves that, you know, and not she deserves it, but everyone that cared about her, everybody that she touched deserves it, you know.
Right.
Because I think so. That was kind of cool to come to that clear understanding that she really belonged to the world, not to me. It's not something I could hold on to or ever even had. I feel like it's her relationship with the people that, you know, her fans or whatever you want to call it, was equally as important, and there were millions of those. So yeah, I'm proud of her, and I was proud to. I don't know where I'm going.
It's okay, man. But I will say that there's a fan on here who says she had a crush on both you and Mark, named Janet, and then there's a woman named Debbie who she's praising you. She said, "Check out Morgan's beautiful music."
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, man. It's something, man. I had a question for you, and I forgot now. Just listening to you talk.
I'm not the only one.
Oh man, see, all right, you know, it happens.
I gave it to you. I spread it.
All the way over here on the East Coast, man.
Yeah.
Well,
hey man, I appreciate you. I really do. You're a good man, and if I can help you out in any way, I'm happy to do it, and get in touch with some of these people.
Yeah, no problem, man. I will email you again. Like I said, Maureen and Melissa Hayden, I've been trying to track down too. Her work as Bridget. You know, the whole thing with her being pregnant and David helped to give birth to Peter. I mean, that whole story, that was like a good teen storyline y'all had on the show back then.
Michelle. Wait. So
Oh no,
Bridget,
I said Melissa, Bridget.
Melissa.
Yeah,
And
then
she had a baby?
Yeah, remember she was pregnant with Peter? She was hiding in Nadine's cabin, and Nadine was faking the pregnancy, and David.
Nadine.
Yeah,
All
Jean
about her.
Carroll.
Jean Carroll, she was awesome. Yeah, I loved her.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that at all.
It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's. I know it's weird. It's like I wasn't even born then, and I remember that like it happened yesterday.
Wow. I mean, I remember her with a blanket or something, but I don't. You know, it's a job. You know, this is what we go to work and we do the job, and then we go home to our lives. Like, you know, if you're working at Ralph's or something, you're thinking about what happened. I mean, yeah, you might think about it, but you're not going to remember it. You know, down the road or even a week later, and. I know that I had a lot going on with my relationship with my wife or fiance, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so there was so much kind of going on outside of that. I think it was all I could do to just, you know, focus on each day at a time. And a lot of times I was leaving there and going to either do rehearsal for a play or perform in a play after work at Guiding Light all day. So, yeah, there was a lot going on for me emotionally, and I think in certain storylines, it's just, you know, there's nothing, you don't, it's hard to care about it because there's nothing there. You know, you're just come in and you say some stupid lines that have nothing to do with anything. And but I understand that's how soap operas need to work to keep it going. But I think for an actor, you know, you'd see, I don't know. I think it's like anything, you know, there are days when you're really on, and there's days when you just, you know, you don't have it. And,
Yeah.
You know, even if you want to, and when you don't have the anything to sink your teeth into, it's not something you remember. I mean, I don't. I kind of live in the moment anyway. I'm not.
Right.
That's what I'm going to tell people. I live in the moment, and yeah, I don't really remember all those things so well.
I did interview one actor who mentioned your name, Carl Evans. He was Alan Michael. I interviewed him last year. He had fond memories of working with you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, so he and Beth and Harley, they were real tight, so there was a lot kind of friction between us as actors, I mean, as characters, and, you know, I didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
But we ended up being pretty good friends. So, yeah, he's a great guy. Love him, and I wish he'd stayed, you know. I thought we had a good thing going, and then Rick Herbst came. Rick and I went to Circle in the Square together. He was in his second year or something, and further along. But yeah, he and I, he's so funny. He started taking karate, you know. So he's one of those guys that goes, "Here, stand here. Let me show you what I would do. You know, what I learned. You know." And I'm like, man, if you're gonna throw a punch at me, you're gonna get hit back. I'm just telling you right now. So I don't do this practice thing, you know. So that was funny, but he's a great guy. We had so much fun, man. We really did.
I think you also worked a little bit with Hart Jessup, Jeff Phillips, and Leonard Stubbs, who was both on Who Was Hart.
Tragedy of the lifetime. Yeah, Leonard there was so much to work with. See, Leonard was great because he was just a force of nature. I mean, he's like 6'6" and just gorgeous, you know, and just, hi. It's just such a force of nature, you know. But and then Jeff, and then that whole thing happened, and I saw it coming, man. I was like, man, you got to stop taking these risks in the air, because he was not paragliding. That's what I used to do. Hang gliding.
Yeah.
You know, and he's doing loops and stuff, and we're talking mid-'80s, so that's still, you know, a couple years after Bamboo. So he hit a tree, and I'm like, dude, and I knew he had a lot of issues with his father and stuff, and I said, man, you need to stop working this stuff out in the air. And 3 weeks later, he ran into a tree, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
So that was just, I mean, if any, there's certain people that just they're so full of life that you just can't, you're just, their light is so bright. He was one of those people.
Yeah.
And I think on the force of that character, of who he was as an actor playing opposite him, that was one thing. When Jeff came, he's a mild guy, he's a really good actor.
Right.
And so, but it was a completely different relationship. You can't do the same acting with somebody if they're a different person,
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I had going with Leonard, which was pretty brief, it was tough to switch gears, but I feel like, that's what you got a completely different character here. This Leonard was a couple of inches taller than me. Jeff, I think, is at least either my height or a little bit shorter, and he's a completely different person.
Right.
And he's a really thoughtful person, and they were very, very, very different things. So I think that took me a minute to kind of get in there with him and figure that out. But I loved working with him. He was a strong actor, and but Leonard was such a force in all of our lives, and then all of a sudden, bam, and now it's this big drama, and we're going to see him in the hospital. We don't know if he's going to live or die or be, whatever. I think he was in a coma for a long time. And Jocelyn was there all the time with him. She really, really did a lot. I think a lot of people did, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it took me a while to kind of get into Leonard as Jeff, because well, Jeff was the first Hart and Leonard was the second one, and it took me
Are
a
you
while.
sure about that?
Oh yeah, Jeff came in '91, left in '92, and then Leonard came in '93, and he played Hart. He played Hart until his accident, and then another actor named Sean something took over briefly. But yeah, Leonard was the second one. He came in '93.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why did Jeff leave, I wonder?
I think he wanted to pursue other roles. I'm not sure, but he was the first. He was the first Hart. He came in '91.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so in my memory, I have that backwards. I thought he came after Leonard.
No, he was the first one. But
well, then I still would have been working with. So who was when Julie and I were supposed to get married? Who was that?
That was a guy named Sean. Well, wait a minute. Somebody must have wrote it. There was another actor named Sean something. He took over as Hart after Leonard's accident because you left, so you didn't work with the other two actors who played Hart afterwards. But
okay. So I left after that. Okay.
Yeah, because two other actors played Hart, and then they killed off Hart like years later. So yeah.
Oh, sucks for him.
Sean McDormand, that was his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, but I remember what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, so what is your Christmas plans right now? Are you doing anything or?
Well, I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
We're still in November.
That's true.
I'm honestly, when I go shopping for Christmas, is Christmas Eve. I'm always running. I don't know why. It's just I leave it to the last second, and so all that to say, I don't know. I don't have any plans. I don't know what. My older kid's a little older now, so it's not really Christmas. We don't have any central house anymore. My mom's gone, so we're gonna have to figure out a new kind of. It's like the whole family's just kind of. And there's like I said, no central place anymore. So I don't know. And then my little daughter, she lives, her mom's, she's got two sisters there and a bunch of people there. So I'm sure that they're going to do a big Christmas. So I'm sure she and I'll do a little something for sure. And I don't know, just keep it low key. Definitely not traveling. I don't travel. I'll go travel after the holidays. I used to take my kids out the first week back in school. I'd take them out and we'd go skiing because there's nobody around. Everyone's back in the city, and all the locals are like they're happy because all the tourists are gone, and
Right.
And you got the place to yourself. So I'm not good with crowds and traffic and lines.
I understand. Yeah.
So I'll be pretty chill. I mean, I got a song coming out called Love Song for Christmas. And it's coming out a week from Friday on the 10th. And
I want to hear that.
Yeah, I'd love for you to hear it too. In fact, I'll send you a link after we get off.
Okay.
Actually, could you play it right now if I sent it to you?
I could try to. I mean, I could pull up on my phone, because my phone right here.
No, I'd want to have good sound, so I'd want it to be coming through the thing. But anyway, they'll hear it in a couple weeks, and I'll send you a link right now. But
okay.
Yeah, this song I wrote last Christmas for this fan group that I was building, because they, at the time in my life, I was just so grateful, for their support and love and input, and so this was my gift to them. You want me to just play it for you?
Sure.
All right. I happen to have a guitar right here.
Oh wow. What's the guitar's name?
Ooh, you know what? Shema, I don't have a name for her. I don't even know her gender.
What? Oh my gosh! You gotta name the baby. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I gotta name it, and also I got a 12 string.
Okay.
That one needs a name too. So last January, I took my little daughter up to teach her to ski, and after a whole day of that, we went. I took a couple runs by myself, and I didn't have any poles or anything, but it's just real fast, like long, fast turns. And the third time I'm coming down, I wanted to get down quick because they were waiting for me, and so I took one extra run, right? And the run kind of, it's just, it's kind of, intermediate, and then it banks off this way, and then it turns down, and then you're done. Like, this part's pretty steep, but it's still, flat. And then it flattens out where all the lifts are in the lodge.
Right.
So I was coming down, getting a lot of speed, coming off this, getting like, when they do the downhill, you see them they go a long way, but they don't get that high off the ground, but they sail down like at the same pitches. So come off this, and it's just sailing down, and then when I'd land, just setting an edge, just really fast, long, probably 35, 40 miles an hour. And I'm coming down to the end, and I'm like, this looks a little different, because usually it just goes like this, and then I would stop down there, slow down and stop. But this looked a little different. I was coming at a different part of the end there. And I'm like, and I'm moving. I got my sunglasses in my hand because this light was on and off, the shadow. So I realized it's a little mound, and so I come off this mound, and now I'm airborne. And I see what happened was there was a gully like this. So normally you'd ski down the other side, but I was going way too fast. So I came off the top, basically came into the other side. It was like a wall. It's like hitting a wall at 35, 40 miles an hour. And I must have had my sunglasses like this, because I broke this finger in 2 places, ripped the tendon.
Oh, shoot.
All these knuckles were jacked up. Nothing else got broken, but my hand was really screwed up. And so this finger, that's as much as I can bend it. And that's the result of that. So luckily I didn't do anything worse, but and I don't even know why I told that story. There was a reason for it originally, but anyway.
It's okay. I'm going to zoom in on you since you about to sing. So here you.
All right. So what I'm saying is I can't make the damn chord. So if I don't make it very good, that's why.
It's okay.
Right. This is called Love Song, and it goes like this. Christmas approaching, Yuletide is near. The streets are all happy and filled with good cheer. It's a time we start thinking about those we hold dear. It's a time I start thinking about you. For the good times you've helped me through, I give you this love song on Christmas Eve. Every time that you hear it, will you think of me? And gently unwrap it, this gift that I bring. I give you my heart when I sing. From the deepest part of my being, I give you this love song. It's your love song. When I've been down, you've lifted me up. When I've been lonely, you've said I'm enough. My angel, my darling, my gift from above. I've been sitting here thinking about you. And for the tough times you've helped me through, I give you this love song on Christmas Eve. Every time that you hear it, will you think of me? And gently unwrap it, this gift that I bring. I give you my heart when I sing. From the deepest part of my being, I give you this love song on Christmas Eve. Every time that you hear it, will you think of me? And gently unwrap it, this gift that I bring. I give you my heart when I sing. From the deepest part of my being, I give you this love song. It's your love song on Christmas Eve, a love song for just you and me. And our love song.
Man, you know, if I could have gotten the whole audience behind me, we would have lit this whole the whole room up, man.
Right.
That's something else, dude. I mean, you know what? They need to nominate you at the next American Music Awards or the next Country Music Awards. You know, like all out music, Grammy. I'm telling you, man.
Thanks, man.
I'm telling you, man. They need to, man.
Well, maybe by the time I'm 65, 70, we'll see. I've had a good long career. I'm kidding.
But see, because you're like 30 now, so you still got many years to go.
Yeah,
man.
lots.
Man. Shit,
Plenty of time.
what are you talking about?
Yeah. Hey, man. Well, I'm gonna let you know next time I do these live streams for my group, my Facebook group. But love to have you come if you'd like to see one. Give you backstage pass.
Sure, shoot.
All right, you deserve it, man.
I gotta check it out, man. You know, again, like I said earlier, man. I love that song. By the way, I love what you did.
But at least heard the words, right?
Yeah, I heard everything.
Cool.
And I admire your guitars in the background. The one on the left behind you, and there's one on the right of you. Yeah, and that one on the right.
Yeah, this is my ukulele. And I have a banjo, which I just, if I need, like if I'm recording here, just to get a little banjo sound, sometimes, learning to play that. And then I got my 12-string under the bed. I got another 6-string over there, like a 1974 Martin from Nashville that this guy gave me. When I went back there, and he had this whole history of where this guitar came from. So, so I got a couple guitars. And
what kind of music do you listen to, though? I mean, besides, I know your music, but like, what other music do you listen to?
Lately, I'm not really listening to a lot of other music.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't know. I kind of stuck in the 70s, in terms of music.
It's okay.
But I'm putting, any music, I don't know. It's hard. I think when I get in the car, that's the time when I kind of listen to the news and kind of get a feel for what's going on. But then I realized I was getting so upset with the news. I was like, stop listening to it then. Your mind it follows your thoughts, whatever. And so I said, if I want to do music, I need to listen to music. So a lot, there's stuff that I want to record, and my music, I've been listening to that a lot because I'm trying to think, where it can go, maybe change the lyrics, or, I'm working, what I mean? But I do need to listen to new music, and usually what I would be listening to is country, but even that's changed quite a bit. I got into country because I heard Garth Brooks, and it was like, before that, country, I mean, of course, there were some good songs, but usually, da-dang, chicka-dang, and but I felt like Garth Brooks, when I heard his music, it was a melding of classic rock and the stories that this is so great about country, the way they use the lyrics, and write the lyrics that make it sound like conversation, but it's so complex and so intricate, but it's so simple at the same time. And it tells a story that brings tears to your eyes or makes you laugh, or, and that's the music I want to write. And that's not what it is anymore. I mean, there's still great songs, but kind of a lot of it's just bubblegum pop, and it's not something I really want to listen to. But, I mean, Chris Stapleton and Zach Brown Band and, some of those, I play that.
Yeah.
He didn't even write that, though. Hootie and the Blowfish. I love him. He's Darius Rucker. And like Travis Tritt and stuff like that. But, that's older music. If I find a song that moves me, that's what I want to play,
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I'm not listening to a lot of music right now. I'm so busy, and but it feeds you, and I need to listen to more and more varied music, and even my fans will tell you that. So you need to play something in the last decade.
Hey, I'm an old head myself, man. Believe it or not, I listen to a lot of '70s and '80s music. I'm a big Hall and Oates, Temptations.
Oh, I heard Hall and Oates and long time. That's funny.
Whoa, here he comes.
Watch out, boy.
You
screw you up.
You would come to mind whenever I would watch their music video of Man Eater, and I would look at Hall, and I once thought he was you because you had the hair, and I was like, "Is that Dylan? Is that Morgan?"
Man, I can't believe it. Now I look at him like, what? How did I ever let them get away with that? Because the mullet was a joke even back then. Oh, it's funny. I used to take, they'd put the pancake makeup on, go and get it. Great, looks great. Go to my mom gave me this tip. She goes, go and you put cold water on it and just blot it with a towel, and then it'll make it look like actual skin tone instead of, when you watch the news and you can see where they put the makeup on. And that's what it would look like a lot of times. So I'd dumb it down a little bit and get it more human looking.
Absolutely.
Anyway, anything else?
I was gonna say, well, man, again, I appreciate you taking the time to come out to me today and talk. Again, thank you for what you did with your music. You touched others, including me. I want to hear more of your music, of course, but also what you did on GL with Dylan. That was a good show for his time, and your work on there, and with Susie and Kim, Robert, Jordan, and Jocelyn and Melissa. And Maureen and Michael Zaslow, Vince Williams, Neil Long, like all you guys. I mean, it's interesting to look at that, and if you watch Guy Light at the end, the cast is different, of course, but you that set a group of guys with y'all, and of course Mark Dorwin, that just, and of course I don't know if you've had scenes with them, but Jerry Radorn and Peter Simon, yeah, watching you and those guys, it was just, Thank you.
They're great actors, man. I was so lucky to be on that, as opposed to something like I know other shows they had it on the teleprompter. I mean, they'd literally read their lines off the camera.
Right.
And for me, that's not the type of acting I wanted to do. So, really felt honored to be part of it, this great cast. You know, these people were solid actors. They were really good, and just glad I got to be part of it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna show you this one last clip real quick. It's a tribute I did to you and Susie. I shown Susie when I had her on. I'm gonna show you. It's a video I did of you two.
Thank you.
I'm gonna show you real quick. Here it is.
I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Now I'm in a whole new world. Hold your breath, it's better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I used to be. Every turn a surprise. Every moment red letter. I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you.
A whole new
Awesome, man. That was really cool.
Thank you. That's one of many montages I did of. Well, I did one of you and her, and then, like I said, I just did one with Roger and Holly. Like that's many I've done since I've been editing. I've video editing, doing that for years. But again, I love what y'all did over the years and your work, and I wish you many more lucks to go, man. You got many work to do, Morgan. More to do.
Well, I love what you said about the motivational speaking, or in some way, doing something for people that way. So hopefully that's in my future.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
No problem, man. Well, thanks again for coming out, and hopefully we can do another one again soon, another show, and I would love to, sometime next year I'm going to do one again with a group of people, and maybe I can get you and. I know you're close with Melissa. If you can reach her, I would love to include her as well.
Yeah, that'd be great, man.
Yeah, but
I appreciate you.
No problem. We'll stay in touch, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'll be in touch after this.
Okay.
Thanks, bro.
See you, man.
Thanks a lot for doing this, and bye, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
See you, man.
Later.
See, Morgan's one heck of a guy, man. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you so much to my fans who's been a fan of my channel so past over the last couple of years and watching the episodes I've uploaded, and my guests I've had on: Tina, Morgan, Mark, Susie, and Ron Reigns, Grant Alexander, Beth Chamberlain. I mean, that's just the start of people I've had on over the years. But thank you for watching. Don't know when my next guest will be for right now because my schedule is getting ready to change a bit. But thanks again for tuning in. I will upload some more episodes as I go. So yeah, thanks again, and until next time, y'all be safe. God bless, and stay tuned. I did mention in the comment I had some 87 episodes when Frank and Harley first came on the show. So stay tuned for that. That's going to come too. Until next time, see you guys. Thank you.